We saw Amadou Onana back off the bench and Seamus Coleman last week. Are they fit and ready to start maybe on Monday?
Yeah, they're certainly back in the thinking. Both come through a few days training very well. Duke's got a chance as well. He's back in the thinking. He's been on the grass with us this week, which is good news. So they certainly come back into the squad with the thought of getting in the side.
Will you be tempted with Doucoure, because he has been such an important player for you?
Yeah, he's done very well. If he's right and he feels right, then he's certainly in the thinking. We've got a couple of days now to train before the game, obviously, so we'll see how that goes.
How's Ben Godfrey?
Yeah, he's good, yeah. Yeah, just a bug, so that's passed pretty good.
Yeah, and are we still some way off with Arnaud Danjuma and Andre Gomez?
Yeah, both of them. Andre's back on the grass, but it's still got to be a delicate one with his calves, because he's had a few of them now, so we've got to be careful with that. And Arnie's going well, but he's got a few weeks yet.
And you're back on the grass on Monday. How was it up in the stand at Manchester City?
Yeah, not ideal.
Good view?
Not ideal. Nice heated seat. No, it's not ideal being up there. It's not really my bag. But it's
did it affect much?
No, I think the lads did great. I mean, you got communication with them. It just feels different. You can't get involved emotionally in the game because you have to stay quiet. You're not going to sit. Even I don't sit up there and start shouting onto the pitch like Brian Clough used to when I was younger.
It's hard to stay quiet, isn't it? And
it is when you're me.
Yeah. Well, on your best behaviour now till the end of the season.
No, definitely not.
You've not won any of the last 7 Premier League games, unfortunately. Has that affected morale, confidence?
No, I don't think so. I think some of the performances have been very good. Clean sheets in amongst them and points against some tough sides. So I think there's a good challenge for the group. A lot of games coming up to Christmas, and then come out the back of that, players getting fit again. So I think there's a lot of positive signs about what we're trying to do. We've just got to score more goals, and I think we all know that.
Becoming familiar with Crystal Palace, this will be the 4th meeting this season, but you haven't lost any of them. Does that affect this one on Monday?
No, I don't think you go and watch before, but I think we're capable of being competitive in every game. I think we've shown that, and I think the margins are important. We've got to get the right side of that. That's the only thing that's been missing when we haven't won. I think when we've created chances, haven't scored goals, that sort of thing. But no, they're a good outfit. We've played them, as you said, a number of times this season, so we want the right outcome for ourselves.
Does it affect the game? You know each other's games so well, I suppose, and played recently as well.
No, I don't think so. I think every game's different. Every game plays out different. Tactics and all that. Most teams have a more sort of go-to shape, if you like, which I think they will have, and ourselves included. And most teams do. So no, I think it's about turning up on the day and playing and delivering a performance like it always is.
They're not in a good run of form, are they? It's just 2 wins from the last 13 Premier League games, and unfortunately Roy Hodgson taken ill on Thursday. Do you feel for him and his position at the moment?
Well, I certainly wish him well. I sent a message out and just briefly spoke to Ray Lewin and on a message, so I believe things are okay at the minute. We wish him well, and we want that before anything. Great guy, someone I respect greatly, and Ray too. So we're hoping that recovers. But obviously, when the game comes round, we've got to look all beyond that. It's an important game. It's important to us. The points are important. So, that has to be parked. But bigger than the game is certainly his health, and I hope he is well, and I hope he comes through it with no problems.
I suppose even Roy would acknowledge that run of form, it's part and parcel of people putting you under pressure, really, in the Premier League.
Well, I think everyone's under pressure in the Premier League, regardless. You're whether top, middle or bottom, everyone's looking to say, can you win the next game? We certainly put ourselves under our own pressure to win games, and that's what we're going to do for this one.
I think you've already mentioned it, goals have been an issue. I know you've not scored in 4 of the last 5 Premier League games, and quite naturally people look at Dominic Calvert-Lewin and that run of games without a goal. Are you still pleased with his performance?
Yeah, it's not about one player. It's about all the team, and I think we're trying to enhance that with the group. The mentality that everyone can score a goal. It's not looking at one player. And I think Dom's giving a good level of performance, and something will work for him. It's kind of that scenario. Sometimes you get a lucky when it hits you and goes in. Sometimes you've got to work for the goal, and I think he's finding that balance. He is working. Goals will come his way, I'm sure of that. But it's a team responsibility. It's not just one player.
God, it hits Jack Harrison and goes in.
So. Well, c'est la vie.
And we're still awaiting the verdict, of course, on the appeal following the 10-point deduction. I think we were hopeful it was going to be by the end of this week. It's dragging on a bit. Is that bad for the club and the fans, really?
It hasn't dragged on for me. It's just the case of how it's mapped out. So we were given a very general timeline, probably over the next couple of weeks. Wait and see.